All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 7:34, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody can stand, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a few things, if everybody can silence their cell phones. In the case of an emergency, we do have an emergency exit directly behind me and also through the door you came through. I'm going to start with excused. Joy Lamarca, board trustee, is excused. We have both Ashley Dreyer and Danielle Bruno with us remotely. I'll start on the left. We have Roger Broker, trustee, Jay Grover, board trustee, Sherry Steffens, board trustee, Jude Kuhn, district clerk, Dr. Brian Graham, our superintendent of schools, myself, Sue Marston. We have John Fitzpatrick, our superintendent of curriculum, staff development, and human resources. We have Cheryl Cardone, our assistant superintendent of people personnel services, and Bob Merkel, our assistant superintendent for school business and finance. Alrighty. If I can get an approval of our agenda for this evening, please. And a second? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried 6-0. And approval of our minutes from our March 24th and 31st meetings. If I could get a motion, please.
Make the motion.
And a second? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried 6-0. Okay, on to our student ambassadors. Yes, please.
Hi everyone, this is Leah Peppers. She is an 8th grader at BCMS and a web leader, and also the treasurer of the student council.
Hi, my name is Leah Peppers, and I am the treasurer of the middle school student council. One of our upcoming events we are having is our spring dance on Friday, May 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. There will be a DJ in the gym and snacks in the cafeteria. This is one of our most popular events in VCMS. Tickets will be going on sale next week for $10 each. Leading up to the school dance, we will be having a Spirit Week. This is when we have themed days for the whole week that everyone can participate in. We will be doing Hawaiian Day, Disney Day, Neon Day, Rock Your Crocs, and Flower Power Friday. Something we are planning is a teacher appreciation lunch to recognize our teachers and all that they do for the students here at VCMS. This upcoming Thursday, we will be having a Bring Your Child to Work Day. This is when the teachers will be bringing their kids to school. There will be fun activities for them to do throughout the day. Next week, the math state assessment will be taking place on Wednesday and Thursday for all students in the middle school. They will be taking the test on their Chromebooks. Lastly, the PTA is using the money we earn from the Penny Awards to buy games and activities for students to use in the courtyard when the weather gets nice. Thanks for listening to what's going on in VCMS right now. Have a great night.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and District Admin. I am so excited. After a very, very extensive, rigorous process, we have 2 student board representative members to introduce to you tonight, Sienna Sarkis and Charlotte Tower. These young ladies are amazing young women. I am so excited that they wanted this opportunity. They put the work in to not only apply, came and interviewed, and showed grace and poise beyond their years. Tonight, Sienna is going to give you our update, and then Charlotte will give you the update in 2 weeks when we have our next meeting. But I thought we'd want to meet both of them. If there's any questions you have for them, they are happy to answer them.
Good evening.
My name is Sienna Sarkis, and I am the board ambassador representing the high school tonight. I am honored to be here. Tonight, I look forward to sharing what the high school has been up to and what is upcoming as all students and faculty return from spring break. We have officially started the fourth quarter here at Grand Island High School. As students, our focus has now shifted more towards final exams. This time of year can bring along a sense of pressure and stress, but also excitement for the summer. Speaking of the fourth quarter, AP exams are right around the corner, so many students, including myself, are in full preparation mode. The stretch from now to May is very stressful, but it is rewarding in the end. This time of year also goes to show our dedication and commitment to our academics. We are very thankful for our amazing teachers that provide us with everything we need to ace the exams. Spring sports are officially underway, and all teams have begun to practice and play games. Each team is working hard and playing their best to represent our school. Tonight, the varsity girls softball team and varsity girls lacrosse team each play a game. Both teams are looking for the win so that they can advance in the standings. Max Sense and Marissa Setti have the honor to travel to Orlando, Florida for DECA Nationals. These students have received remarkable scores at regionals and states, which allows them to advance to nationals. Both Max and Marissa have shown great public speaking skills, persistence, and problem-solving abilities. Congratulations to these students and good luck to them in each of their categories. This year, I interviewed for the student representative for the Board of Education. This has been a very positive experience for me. It has allowed me to step outside my comfort zone, engage with my community, and have a better understanding of how decisions are made within our school. When Charlotte and I are approved as co-board members, I hope to contribute a perspective that will help to advocate for the students in our school and improve our community as a whole. I am very excited about what next year will bring. Thank you and have a great rest of the night.
Correspondence and business.
We're really excited to announce our distinguished alumni for Grand Island High School. They will be inducted at the end of the week. Thursday there's a meet and greet, Friday there's a student assembly. So first we'd like to congratulate Salvatore Andolina from the class of 1974. He is a virtuoso clarinet and saxophone player. He has mastery and has performed at Carnegie Hall and the Buffalo Philharmonic. So he's going to be an excellent representative, and we're excited about his address with our high school students on Friday. Also, Dr. John Robinson from the class of 1986, distinguished career in emergency medicine. Also an author and storyteller dedicated to writing, service, and advocacy, and inspiring others, and a former Navy ROTC and a former athlete with us. I know that he shipped some books to your house, Sue, so it'll be fascinating to see some of the books that he's written, and I'm sure that'll be a big focus at the meet and greet as well. And then Carlin Hartman, class of 1990, he really truly is a legacy built on excellence from our high school, from achieving the most points scored on our basketball team in the history of Grand Island. He went on to play for Tulane University, and then has coached in several different universities across the United States, and most recently he is an associate head coach with the University of Florida, and we all know that the Gators won the national championship just recently, just a few weeks ago, and we're really thrilled that he's coming back to Grand Island to be honored and to address our students. So we're looking forward to that. I want to thank Jude, who has done a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure this goes off effortlessly, and our committee that has worked tirelessly to look at all the nominations and to select our most newly inducted alumni. So I don't know if anybody has any questions. Okay, so that should be a great event. So Thursday night our board can attend if you're available. The meet and greet, which is at Bridgeview, starting at 6:30, and then Friday morning at 9 a.m. The three distinguished alumni will present to our students. So it should be a great event.
Okay, public comment session. We do not have anybody sign up. Curriculum and instruction, that's a little different than tonight. So personal instruction. So, can I get them, does anybody have any questions on instructional? If not, I would like a motion for PI 1 through PI 5, please? And a second? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried 6-0.
Oops, I don't think we have
Any
any
introductions?
introductions tonight.
Okay. Moving on to personnel non-instructional. Hello. All right, can I get a motion for P&I 1 through P&I 3, please? And a second? All in favor? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried 6-0. On to finance. Dr. Luke.
Thank you. Why don't we start with the budget presentation first, and then, because it's up for action tonight. So we'll go through that, and then we can go on to action items.
I just want to, before Bob takes over, I just want to again thank the Board of Education. This is probably one of many, but one of the top duties of the board as a whole, and it's a very rigorous process. It starts early in November with Bob meeting with supervisors and administrators and the district team, and then presenting for many months to the Board of Education, getting input and making adjustments along the way. And all of this work is being done, and it's really important, as our board knows, that New York State is late on getting their budget approved. And they're currently negotiating really non-budgetary things, which makes it even more frustrating. It's mandates and things that the governor wants to install across the state. Some could be good things, some could be challenging things for schools and other entities. So to see the budget be this late on April 22nd when it's due April 1st is not good role modeling in my opinion. So I appreciate the board, I appreciate Bob in putting together a budget that meets our goals, but is missing just a little bit of information from the state.
I think Sherry has a question.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so this can change depending on,
Just the revenue portion, we're hopeful that the revenue will go up to maybe 2.9% or 3%. That's what the Assembly and the House have been recommending, but it doesn't mean that the governor could accept those recommendations. So Bob, we're seeing a budget based on the actual numbers we received from the governor.
Based on the executive branch,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we could end up getting a little bit more revenue. It's not going to be a ton, but that would be a good thing for us.
would we have to approve it
No,
now?
no.
So
Go ahead, Bob.
historically, the budget comes in slightly above the executive branch. So hopefully we would end up with a little bit more revenue than what we have right now. But we won't know that until the budget's actually complete and they agree on all of the items.
So the only time we have to reapprove something is if it came in less, and we have to change.
Oh, yes, for sure. Yeah.
But if it comes in more.
Yeah, and that's not anticipated at all.
Correct.
I mean, if we were anticipating a cut, we would have a list of things that were on the block. And I would also say that the outstanding issues with the governor's budget are not focused on education.
Correct.
Correct.
So if they were, we would be,
The cell phone part of it.
Yeah.
well, the cell phone, but not financial, I guess is what I'm,
It's not
right.
financial.
Correct, not financial.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, correct.
So if there is a budget that comes in a little bit more, what happens to those, that money?
So, a portion of this budget, our revenue does not cover the entire budget. So a portion of it comes from fund balance. So if we get more than anticipated, we just use less fund balance at the end of the day.
Thank you.
Which is a good thing.
That's well said. So Bob, again, and the board, thank you for all the work. To be honest with you, I've been doing this 9 years with this board and other members. This board takes this very seriously, to the point, looking line by line, and I think that's accurate, right, Bob? And we appreciate that. We want a board that's involved in looking at the finances as one of the major duties. So I thank the board for that, and then turn it over to Bob.
Thank you. So, just going through No major changes. Page 5, as we said, that's still based on the executive budget runs. Typically, by now, we would have updated information. We would have updated our revenues for state aid. But since there is no additional information at this time, there's been no updates there. On page 6, the revenue portion, the only change here is the amount of appropriated fund balance that increased to cover our new budget items, which I will go over in a couple minutes. All right, now, so page 8 is the budget items that we kept in. So those are the items that were requested for this year that we kept in. These are additions for this year. So that $376,000 at the bottom is added to the initial budget that we had been discussing. So that was the change in the appropriated fund balance, was to cover these additions there.
Good. Just want to make sure everybody's doing okay so far. Great.
So we discussed some equipment needs, and we discussed being able to do some things this year. So these are some of the items that we've been able to do so far this year. There was some classroom tables for Sidway, some tables for Kegabine, the new secretary desk for Kegabine, some touchscreen TVs for the middle school. I'm working with Robin on those. We've got a whole lot of those coming in from this Smart School Bond Act, so we're going to work with Felicia to make sure that we get to there where she needs them the most right now. We did have to purchase some dust collector filters as we repaired the dust collector in the middle school and high school. We found that some of those filters were in need of replacement, so we also are in the process of replacing those to get our dust collectors back up and running. They came in and finished up the middle school dust collector today. So 2 of the 3 high school ones are back up. We just need to replace some filters on the 3rd one, and then the middle school ones will be back in service tomorrow. So that project is essentially complete. That was our capital outlay project for this year.
I'm going to just check in. Sherry's got a question. I'm checking with Danielle too.
So this was after we discussed, like you went back to them and you basically said these would be important.
Correct. Correct, yeah.
Danielle or Ashley, do you guys have any questions so far?
Not right now, thank you. No, thank you, not right now.
I have a quick question. On the smart boards, is that something, I know, or I remember, and Julie was here, but I thought there was a capital project, we had some additional funds left over when we were done, and I thought that was what we bought our first run of all of our smart boards with. Lisa Pitts was actually the one that brought it to the board and we approved it. So is that not something we can do in a capital project? I thought the question came up at the last budget meeting that it was not, but is that something we could?
I believe you could.
Or did we ask if it could be one of those?
So these ones are actually coming from the Smart Schools Bond Act.
I'm not saying wait, I'm
Yep.
just saying, when we get into our next capital project that we're gonna look at, if we find ourselves in another situation where we have the funds, right? If that is something we can look at in totality, right, across the district, right? As an add-on, if we find, because I think that's, Cheryl, do you remember,
Yeah, so.
I mean, it was a long time ago, and I thought there was a chunk of money, and Lisa brought it up at the table, and if my memory serves me right, Jude, I don't know. It was a long time ago,
What did, keep going, and then,
and I think that was when we first bought all of
yes,
the first, I think we smart boarded.
yes.
Yeah,
Those were probably
good
Promethean
English, by the way.
boards.
Yes.
But, a lot of those
You're right.
Promethean boards are outdated.
No,
now.
I know they are, and I guess that's what
Yeah.
I'm getting to, right?
Yes.
If we get into our next capital project, we've met everything we feel is whatever. If we find ourselves with, I can't remember, I'm sure they're more expensive.
Yeah.
But I think that's what we did with a chunk of money. that
Gotcha.
was.
It might have been one of the alternates, maybe?
Alternates at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, so
Okay.
typically, you have to get the alternate approved when you do the referendum and all of that, but, you know, so.
Just something maybe
I
to put in
believe
back.
You could absolutely include them in a capital project. I believe they would be aidable
Not
because
that we
they're
have to wait
fixed to
until
the
then, I'm
wall.
just thinking,
Yeah.
because a lot of them were bought at that one time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We bought,
There's a lot.
I think,
We're
yeah.
buying 75 right now, you know, so that's a
I
big
wanna
chunk.
say we did them
And
all.
I don't believe the Smart School Bond Act is going to be a continued thing
Right.
either. You know, they keep saying that that's going to go away, so that's a good thing for us to consider going forward for sure. So on page 10, I put together, that would be the next slide, please. So, you know, we looked at a lot of equipment needs for the different schools and, you know, saw that there was a lot of different needs. So I tried to allocate $100,000 for next year's budget towards this, and I tried to divvy that up based on the enrollment at each of the schools. So you'll see the projected enrollment that we presented earlier in February for all of the schools here, and kind of split that $100,000 up proportionately between the schools. So I hope I met your mark on that with what you guys asked me to do.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the immediate
Yeah.
equipment need from last year. I mean, I realize it's $33,000, but for $33,000 more, we could have hit 100% of the need.
Well, we did hit a lot of those in the ones
Okay.
that we already did this year.
So do you feel this immediate need list has been met then?
For the majority, I believe so, yes.
Okay, and everybody's comfortable with
I mean, we.
it? I just don't want to get that close, right? And
Yeah,
then-
we would always love more, you know.
No, I know.
but-
So we were able to pick
We
some
don't
up
have
this
$1 million
year.
in next year's
I know,
budget.
I know.
So at least this will help them, you know,
Okay.
start getting at some of the items that we can replace.
But we were able to sneak something this year. then?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
You think this will be an ongoing
I would think,
going
yeah.
forward now with this?
Because the next page is 619,000 for short-term needs.
Yeah,
So-
I would think that we'll try to maintain this going into the future, you know,
Right.
because the needs are definitely there for sure.
Do you think we could define short-term? Like, do you think there's a way we could break this down? I mean, I'm sure they all want it in the next year, 26, 27, but I mean, maybe once we get through this year into next year, we could.
Yeah, I mean, we can reassess every year. I don't want to pigeonhole the principals and saying, you know,
No,
you
I
said you're
know.
gonna buy
you know,
X, Y, and Z.
There's got to be
because
some stuff that's,
They, you know.
some of the stuff's been here since I've been here.
Correct. And this will help them start to replace some of that stuff. But this will give them the latitude to, you know, because the needs might change. You know, they might say they need something now, but July 1, something might break and
I know,
they
I know.
need to shift that, so.
I get it.
Right. Any other questions on the equipment?
Thank you.
Slide 11 hasn't really changed. The tax cap calculator has stayed the same. Same thing for the estimated proposed tax rates on page 12, which brings us to page 13. That's a recap of the budget for this year. You know, there's ongoing challenges in transportation, as we know, so I did increase the amount for the contracted transportation quite a bit based on the number of retirements we are foreseeing. I did reduce the bus proposition a bit according to that, because if we don't have as many drivers, they won't be driving as many of our buses because the contracting companies use their own buses. So hopefully we make some good progress on this over the next several months. But something we're constantly trying to improve. Teresa's been doing a great job in trying to get some ads out there. She's put some stuff on at the bowling alley, Melwitz's. Brian's helped quite a bit with a lot of different techniques. So something we're still working very hard to try to improve. Our bus driver pay will go over $25 an hour for next year. So, you know, hopefully that will help attract some people, but, you know, doing a lot of legwork to try to improve that situation for sure. So, the total expenses for next year, including the additional items, is $79,321,145. On page 14, that is the number that I am seeking your approval on tonight. Page 15 is Proposition 2. We're going to keep that flat from what it was last year. I think I initially proposed $805,000. I did take some of that out and reduce the number of buses that we plan to purchase. But as always, buses are getting more and more expensive, and supply chain issues are not helping that situation. So,
Just to note the change to Proposition 2, it looks like you dropped from 2 65 passenger buses to 1, and from 3 29 passenger buses to 2 35 passenger buses. Just to
yep.
say it out loud.
Thank you. Any other questions on the bus proposition? Okay. And then the draft budget recap and the fund balance. So I do anticipate using a little bit of our reserves this year, somewhere around $2.5 million as of my projections now. So we'll be trying to tighten that up and finish up the year as strong as possible. And then after tonight, the next scheduled regular board meeting is May 6th. That will be our budget public hearing, and then our vote on May 20th. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right. So with that, I will look for a motion on items A through F, please.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And a second?
I'll second. I thought we should do Monday second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'll put that one. Is that everything for finance then?
There's a few informational items on there. Items G, H, and I are information items.
Does anybody have any questions for that? All righty, move on to special education.
Two action items, that would be our CSC and our CPSE program recommendations, please.
Can I have a motion? And a second?
I can second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then for
Opposed? Motion carried 6-0. You're welcome. It's very kind.
and then for your information is the athletics and extracurricular activities 2025. As you know, Brett Banker is our new athletic director, so myself, Felicia Palacci, Gloria Kretz Harvey, Mike Antonelli. We did have a couple of teacher reps as well, you know, to look over the athletic code of conduct. I think the last time it was reviewed was a long time ago, I think 2018. So we reviewed it, made sure that it was really reflective of our full code of conduct. And tonight it's for you to look at and ask any questions that you have. But there's not a lot of wholesale changes, just a lot of language cleanup. And then making sure that it reflects the code of conduct as a whole.
Does anybody have questions for Cheryl tonight? Great, we'll go ahead and review that, and we're gonna guess next meeting will be up for action. On to the superintendent, Dr. Greg.
With the students being off last week, I had to put together a slide deck, and getting our budget passed was our priority. So next time we're together, I'll have some nice slides of all the great spring sports that are going on and all the wonderful things, including our distinguished SRP awards dinner. We are getting ready for that. That'll be later in May. But I do want to just thank the corporate sponsors. So our administrative union as well as the GITA sponsor and provide donations to this distinguished SRP event. Jeff and Tina Hasler, family here at Grand Island, but also a business owner, has donated. Leonard Bus Sales, Marston Power Equipment, the New York School Insurance Reciprocal, Zero Eyes, the Lolly Company, and Curriculum Associates have all provided donations to support this wonderful event, and now we get to shed a spotlight on our school-related professionals later in May. So just wanted to share that with all of you.
I believe the admin meeting also needed to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Is that everything? Okay, on to the Board of Education report. We have the Erie One Bozeman's budget. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. I need a motion to approve A and B, please. In a second? All in favor? You guys in favor over there? Opposed? Motion carried 6-0. Poll inspectors?
Yeah.
Need anything for the poll inspectors? Or did I just vote on that? Nice. All righty. Post to the Board of Education. Right. Does anybody have any questions for them? I know they kind of scooted. Anything you want to add to joining our group up here, ladies? Anything on the process? Any questions for us?
Pretty much so.
How about right here? Any questions for us? We're excited to have you join us and be a part of what we do. Really exciting to have the students' point of view, and we look forward to working with you next year. So congratulations. I'm sure the process was stressful and intense. I guess intense was the word I'm looking for. So welcome aboard, and we look forward to working with you starting July 1st.
There been lots of questions.
Jay?
Just for your information, our last
What is the date of the ceremony for the pins?
the awards.
Yeah.
May 16th. May 16th. Yeah, I'm 90% sure.
While you're looking that up, GISBA report is on there. As always, I just want to mention the date of our car show, which is May 18th, and our annual golf outing, which is July 25th, and that will be at Few Island this year. May 6th then?
May 16th.
All right. Public comment session, nobody signed up for that, so we are on to the committee of full items and information, and we'll start with you, Roger.
Just thank you for all your good work on the budget, this is Dr. Merkel, it's very grand. You laid it out very easy numbers too. Thank you.
Sure.
I would just love to have an update on bonus week for the next one. To see how each of the schools did, and they put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. So if someone could work with our banker and our wellness teams to get an update, we can share with them. Yeah.
True.
I'm all set.
John?
Just want to welcome both Sienna and Charlotte. Now they're on.
All set.
You're today, going tomorrow.
All set, thank you.
Just happy birthday. Today is birthday.
Oh, that's right.
But it's also my son's birthday. That's how I remember birthday every year. You got a permit today. But today is also Bus Driver Appreciation Day. So a shout out to our bus drivers and transportation team. You know, they're rock stars. They work really hard to get our kids here safe and on time every day and get them home safely as well. And, you know, they as we know, been very short-handed, so they've all been pitching in extra hours and everything else, so a huge shout out to that team. Thanks.
Before I pass it on to Dr. Graham, I just want to wish Danielle a very happy birthday. I'm sure there's other things you'd rather be doing than sitting here approving a budget, but happy birthday, Danielle. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah, I keep forgetting it's my birthday, to be honest with you. It's been, a lot of work today, so, maybe one day I'll celebrate it, and I do thank this, the district and everybody allowing me to appear virtually for, unfortunately, not so much leisure purposes right now for my birthday, but I'll get there. So, thank you, everybody.
Ashley, anything for you?
I'm all set, thank you.
All right, thank you. Just briefly, April 30th, which is coming up relatively quickly, we're excited to honor Christopher Simpson and Marianne Guerrero as part of the Western New York Education Service Council Awards of Excellence. So that's going to be a very exciting event. Unfortunately, it butts right up against the Celebration of Inspiration, so we have over 40 teachers, staff, and coaches being honored that evening. I want to thank John for being available to attend the Celebration of Inspiration. I'll be at the Western New York Education Service Council, and we have, like I said, over 40 teachers, staff, and coaches being recognized by our graduating seniors. So it should be an outstanding event. It's a wonderful tradition that has preceded me. I don't know, Sue, if you know when it started, but it's been really great.
I've been here. I don't know exactly when it started, but it is exciting. For those of you that have never attended and will attend for your first time, bring Kleenex. It's quite moving.
That's right. Oh, 1990s?
Yeah, I would say.
And I think we have a prom coming up. Date, is it first week of May? Weekend of May? Yeah.
Just junior prom,
Yeah,
and then
junior-
the last
junior prom.
weekend is senior prom.
May 30th.
May 30th, yeah, so lots of things to celebrate. Very exciting time for our students, faculty, and staff, so stay tuned. I'm sure we'll have lots to share.
Okay, just a couple of dates. I was going to mention Celebration of Inspiration. We also have our second annual Light Night that's coming up June 11th, which will be also the spring signing date for all of our athletes that are going on to compete at the collegiate level. That will be at 5 p.m. with the Light Night starting at 6 p.m. We mentioned proms. There's a lot going on for us senior moms. It's very exciting and very sad at the same time. May 6th is our public budget hearing and our next Board of Education meeting, and May 20th is the annual budget and trustee vote. Good luck to Jay and to Beth, who has been attending our meetings. We do have 2 positions open and 2 people running for those. So look forward to the vote and the budget being passed, right? So if we don't have anything else, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:12. Motion, please. And the second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned. I think we've had first again now.